Now to this, the office will no longer be a single workplace for workers in 2022, but homes and third places such as cafes will also serve as workplaces for many companies. So this is according to Linda Trim, director of Giant Leap, one of South Africa's workplace design consultancies. And she says after the third wave, many companies were keen to return to the offices. However, the COVID-19 variant has changed that. Linda Trim joins us now to have this conversation, and it's good to have you, Linda. Good morning to you. Before we look into 2022, let's backtrack a bit to 2020. Last year when we were introduced to this virus, what sort of changes did we see companies introducing, and how settled were employees? Or do we still see, a bit of a battle between working from home full-time and coming to work?
Well, 2020 was definitely a battle, but 2021 saw a complete rebirth of the office, which is something it always needed, as it never actually changed when technology and smartphones came in. And towards the end, sort of last 6 months of 2021, the office was flourishing within its rebirth. We are doing a lot of human-centric research to really understand the type of tasks employees want to do at the office, and people were loving coming back to what we now call the hybrid office.
Yeah. With that being said, I know that you highlight as well that before the Omicron variant, it seems, people were excited to go back, at least employees introducing that 2 to 3 day back at the office, kind of work in that infrastructure. But it seems like with this new variant, we might need to revise all of that all over again.
I'm really hoping not. Towards the end of the year, many companies have started to implement vaccine mandates. And what people are really realizing is the employees are getting COVID even when they're not at the office. Obviously, the spread when people are together is harder, but I don't believe it will stop people coming back.
Yeah, but you're saying that, the work from anywhere, at least concept, is going to change how we do work, and we need to actually just make peace with the fact that it might change how we work forever. What should we be looking forward to in the future in terms of how work now will work?
I think we've got to embrace flexibility and the fact that people have learned to trust their employees, which is wonderful. Just because you're not sitting at a desk doesn't mean you're not working. We work in so many different manners today, and many people may never sit at a desk at the office. They might come only to collaborate or to work in a focus room. It will be very, very different.
I like how you also note, Linda, the fact that work will no longer just be a single location, but there will be an ecosystem now which will feed into the flexibility and employee well-being, of obviously office culture. I mean, take me through how that ecosystem would work.
There's so many different places we can work today, and an office is really going to be seen very much like a hotel. When you're on holiday, you pick where you want to be it at the pool, the bar, the restaurant, your room, because you need peace and quiet. And the office will be very much the same. If you need somewhere quiet to focus, there'll be an area very similar to a library with your desk. If you want somewhere fun and to socialize, you'll go to the work cafe. If you need to work with your team and have a bit of a buzz, you'll go into a collaboration area. And that's why human-centric research is so important, to understand what each company needs, because it's no longer a one-size-fits-all. Every company does completely different types of work, and it's important for us to plan the office around those tasks.
And for those employers then who might be, comfortable considering remote from work permanently, you want them, or rather you want to caution them against the damage it could do to employees and themselves as employers.
It's not good for any of us to be stuck at home all the time, very much like your curfew everyone's fighting against. People do need to get out and be forced to interact with other employees. Even for introverts, that coffee station chatter is so important, and often we need to be forced out of our comfort zones to do it, not necessarily 5 days a week, but we've got to create a company culture.
All right, well, we leave it there, and I appreciate you speaking to us this morning. Obviously, stating there as well, Linda, that we have to bear in mind, office culture, what works for the employer, what also works for the employee, mental health, and all of that puts into play, of course, the productivity of each company. Thank you so much to Linda Trim for joining us this morning.